Hello and welcome back to the pixlr.com Easy Graphics training. In this video we are going to create an ad banner. Okay, so along with this video tutorial here you have a JPEG file which has all the ad banner sizes that you need. It's a template that shows you exactly the sizes and the names that AdWords uses for each different size of ad banner. Okay, so for example, let me zoom in on this a little bit. We have like a 300 by 250 inline rectangle, or you have a 120 by 600 skyscraper, or a wide skyscraper, a leaderboard banner. Okay, these are all the technical terms that they use for a different banner. So when you go on AdWords, it's going to ask you what size, or it's going to ask you, do you want a mobile banner, do you want a leaderboard, or okay. So if you're not familiar with this, here you have this template that I already created. And what's good about this also is that you get an idea of what it looks like when it's going to be on the web page. Okay, yeah, you want one that's going to go all the way across the entire page. So it's up to you to select. So for this tutorial here, we're just going to do a 250 by 250 square. Okay, we'll do that, but they're all generally the same. You just create an image this size, that many pixels, 728 by 90 pixels or 200 by 250 pixels, and then you pop your images on there and whatever text you want, and that's the banner that you upload to AdWords to create an ad banner on a website. Or if you want to put these on your own website, or if you have a blog or something, I mean, you don't have to stay with these sizes here because that's your own website. But in general, this is what's used out there in internet marketing. Okay, so what we're going to do is, and there in the group of tutorials that I'm giving you all of these templates along with your tutorials. So don't worry about having to make these or find the sizes yourself. I give you all the templates you're going to need for these tutorials. All right, so let's move on. Let's go to pixlr.com, and you're going to want to click on Open Pixlr Editor Advanced up on top. Okay, then we're going to create a new image right here, and you're going to click on that. Okay, we said I think we'll make a custom one. We're going to make a 250 by 250. So it's a square. You're going to change that right in there. You're just going to click and then change the number. And you can title it, I'm just going to put banner test, but you can put it whatever you want to call it to keep organized, and press OK. Alright, so pixlr, very similar to Photoshop. Gives you your little work area here, and there it is, 250 by 250. Okay, first thing I want to do when creating a banner is you have to make these banners stick out like a sore thumb. Okay, if you use colors that are going to blend in with the whatever website you're putting it on, then your banner is going to be useless. So you need that thing to really stick out. So the first, I want to drop a color in this area here, and I'm going to come over here to this area here to set the main color, and I'm going to double left click on that, and I want to pick something bright. So it's usually like an orange or a green, just one of these vibrant colors. It's going to make it stick out like a sore thumb, like a hot pink. Let's go with like a lemon green or something like that, something a little bit more to the yellow side there maybe. How about there? Because that's money, green is money, so let's do that. We'll say OK. We're going to come over here and get this paint bucket tool, just like Photoshop has a paint bucket tool, and you're going to left click right in there, and boom, there you have your color. So it's like gonna stick out pretty bright, especially most websites have like a bland, like a gray color background to standard, so it doesn't kill anybody's eyes when the text, it's like an off-white or something. So this green should pop out pretty good. Okay, over here to our right, let me bring these in a little bit so you can see them. We have our layers. We want to fancy this thing up a little bit. Okay, we want to make it look like it's been professionally made. So let's be professionals about it, and let's do that. Okay, so over here we're going to create a new layer. Alright, I created a new layer there, layer 1. So now the new layer is highlighted here. What I want to do is I want to make an outline that goes right around here. Okay, just like a line, like a thick line. But pixlr doesn't allow you to do it the way Photoshop does it. With Photoshop, all I'd have to do is grab this little marquee tool here, draw a box, and then select stroke, and it would be a nice little line around there. Well, pixlr isn't as sophisticated because it's a free online website, so we have to do a little tricks of the trade here to get that done, to accomplish that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually make a box. We will make one, and I'm just gonna I got this tool here, the marquee tool, and remember I'm on my layer, my empty layer, and I'm gonna go right up to the corner here, and I'm left clicking and dragging, and I'm going right down to the other corner, and I release. So now what I'm going to do is grab my paint bucket again, come over inside the marching ants box, and click it. So now that box is green, as you can see here. We can't tell from here because they're both the same color. But what we're going to do is we're going to come right down here, still staying on the same layer, come right down here to the layer styles and double click on that till this little window opens here. And we are going to put a drop shadow, or you know what, we'll do an outer glow instead. Let's get rid of that drop shadow. Let's do an outer glow, and once you check outer glow, it'll give you somewhat of an outer glow, but then you have to click on the word itself to bring up these little tools here. So we're going to go with the hardness being full, and then I can pick another color like maybe a yellow or red. How about a red? Because red and green are contrasting colors, so that'll probably work out well. Maybe like a dark red, and we'll see how that looks. And then the size, we can mess with the size there. Okay, here's the hardness, can make it go soft. If you like that look, it softens the edge a little bit. But if we want to make closer to a solid line, go there. And the opacity, you can go lighter, but we want a solid line, so we go 100% there. And then this is the size if you want it a little thinner. We'll go about there, like an 8. So we're good. We can also do, let's see, inner glow. We can take off that inner glow there. We don't want that. We just want this red solid line, so we put OK. Now to get rid of these little marching ants here, let's press Control D, and that deselects all. Okay, so now it's a little bit off to the right, so I'm going to select right here on this move tool, and basically I can click and move it with my mouse, but at this point it's easier to use my arrows because it's a little bit more precise. So I just give it a couple clicks to the left, couple clicks up, and we're right in the center. Okay, so we're good there. So everything looks pretty nice. So there's my outline. That's exactly what I wanted so far. So now I'm going to make another layer. So I'm going to click over here where it's new layer and go up. Now I'm on layer 2. So I'm going to change the name. Since I did work on this layer here, I'm going to change the name of it to, I'm going to put red outline, so I know that way I'm more organized. Okay, now on this layer here, we're going to start working on an image. So let's go to File, Open Image. Now the image I want to work on is on my desktop, so I'm going to find this. I got this image from iStock Photo, so I'm opening it up, and it opens it in a new window. Okay, what we're going to do with this image is I'm going to take the image of this young lady here with the money, and I'm going to cut her out like if I had a pair of scissors, and cut her out and put her onto this ad here. Okay, so what I have to do to get rid of this white area is grab my magic wand tool here, and this is exactly like Photoshop. There's a magic wand tool. So I'm going to keep reminding you of what I'm doing here and how it's exactly like Photoshop, because that way when you guys learn this, if you're not familiar with Photoshop, when you learn these tutorials, if you ever get a chance to get a copy of Photoshop, you'll be able to jump right on and use Photoshop with no problem, because these are exact clones of what's in Photoshop. Okay, so that's another good part of these tutorials, is that it's like you're learning Photoshop. Alright, so I'll take this magic wand tool, and I'm going to click the white area there, and then I'm going to click Shift, and I'm going to include this white area also. Okay, anything that's trapped on the inside that you want to get rid of. Now, the one problem that I see right off the bat is that the young lady is all surrounded by the marching ants, and that's great. That's perfect. But the money I want to include in is also, because it's white, it's also being included. And it's being cut away by this white area here. So what I have to do is get rid of all these marching ants in here. So in order to do that, I need to come over to the lasso tool here, click on that. But I want the polygon lasso tool, this one here with the straight line going through it. That's the better tool. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is, look, I'll put it over in the white area here, or over her face. If I click the button Control, you see that little minus sign pop up? I'm tapping Control. See the minus sign? Now if I hold Control down, you see it doesn't go away. Okay, what I do is hold down Control, and very carefully I'm going to lasso around all the marching ants that I want to get rid of inside this area here. And when I make a complete loop on that, it's going to be able to get rid of those marching ants there. Now you'll see in a second. Okay, let me go very slow. I'm clicking Control. There's my minus sign. Now I let go of the button, but it leaves. This is what I like about this tool. It leaves like this string that will let you click again, and now move on to another point, and then click again, then move on to another point, click again. I can move on to another point. I want to click there. I want to click here. And I'm just going around pretty much all the ants that I want to eliminate. I'm rounding them up in my lasso, and I'm going to throw them away. And once I made it to the complete circle, boom, it was gone. Okay, so now I have my image the way I need it to be. It's perfect. So it's as simple as that. Okay, so if you go to a good place like iStock or any stock photography place that gives you these cool images with the white, they're really easy to deal with. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I have to go over here to Edit, Invert Selection, and select that. Left click on that. Okay, now what it did was it did a reverse selection. Now my white area is no longer selected. The girl herself with the money is the part that's selected. So I'm going to take my little move tool here, click on the move tool, and watch. Once the move tool hovers over her, it turns into a pair of scissors, just like Photoshop. Now I'm going to left click and hold down, and I'm just moving my mouse, and I'm going to drag her over to the middle of this little banner here and release the button, and there she is. So I no longer need this image here anymore. I can close that. Do I want to save changes? No. Now I have her image here. Now, but she's giant though, right? Okay, so now it's time to reduce the size. So I go to Edit, and I'm going to go to Free Transform, and it puts the little markers around her. And now I can just click and drag the corner and move my mouse, and I can move her to the size that I need her to be. And she's a big part of the ad, so let's put her about right there. That'll be good. Okay, leave a little room for your text. Click back on the move tool, and it'll bring up this window here. Do you want to apply? Yes, I do. Okay. So you could see a little bit of these jaggedy edges here. The magic wand tool it does its best, but it still leaves you with a little fuzz there on the end. So let's do something about that. Make sure we're on her layer here, and then we're going to come down here to the layer styles and double click on that. We want to put an outer glow around her. Okay, but see how it does a blue outer glow, so we need to change that. So let's click the word outer glow. We're going to change the color to white. Let's change it to like a white and put OK. And then we are going to make the size a little bigger. The opacity we can bring down a little bit. We don't need it full blast white. The hardness we can bring down so it's like powdery. You can just play with that a little bit. But the size I can bring it up so she's glowing. Okay. So that's pretty much it. You got her. She looks good, glowing there. Got her money. I mean, that's pretty eye-catching there. If you see that on a website, you're going to see this girl almost 3D popping out of the ad. Alright, now the last thing we need to do, Well, let's change this to girl first, or let's just put that. That's easy enough. Girl, woman, whatever. Let's see here. You know what? This layer we don't need. This layer is nothing, but we're not going to worry about that for now. Okay, so we got the girl. We have, there's the outline, the red outline. There's our background. All right. Let's take the text tool now. We'll click on the text tool, and we're going to add in some text right in here. And let's put in, all I did was click the text tool, and I clicked in the area there, and it brought up this box. I want to change the color to either a super dark red or just black. We'll go black, and then put OK. Now I'm going to type the word, something catchy, like need money. Let's see, how about I put it below it, and then I'll put a question mark. Let's move this over. We can change the text right here, and just by hovering over, it'll automatically give you a preview of it. That's what I love about Pixlr too, is that it does this. This is a really good feature. Photoshop does not do this for you, and that's one of the frustrating features of Photoshop, is that it should. So let's just hover over till we find something we like. There's a lot of good fonts in here. There's tons of fonts you can mess with when you see something you want. So you're gonna need something. Oh, impact. I like impact. Where is it? It's up here. Oh, where did we go? Went too fast. There it is. Impact. I like impact for things like this. I want to select impact. I'm gonna come back up here. I need this to be centered. So what I do here is what's happening here. Okay. So let's see. Style. I can go bold. Let's see. I can go italic, but I want to stay bold. Okay. Let's go with another color. Let's pick. And right here is also a good preview. You can, even if you just go white. Let's say you need money. There's also things you can do. This is something really bright, like a bright yellow. Okay. Now watch this. You see it doesn't really look all that great in bright yellow. So you're going to need a color that's that kind of is a contrast to the green here. So let's go, maybe I didn't quite go with the solid black. So there's a solid black right there. So it's pretty solid. That might work there. So put OK. Might have to go, let's click OK. I'm going to use the arrow tool now and move. I'm going to move that up a little bit and to the right and put that there. Alright, now let's see here. Okay, let me cancel. I'll show you what I did. Okay, now, so I have my words need money here, okay, or need money there. Well, I can click on that layer and go to the layer effects by clicking on that little thing there, and I can do things like I can do a drop shadow, I can do the bevel, inner glow, inner shadow you can't see, outer glow, or inner glow. Okay, I like the outer glow look right here again. Outer glow works great for a lot of things. So let's put like maybe a bright yellow on the out. That's why I didn't want to use bright yellow after all for the text, because I was thinking ahead of using something like this here. Put OK. Now the size, I'm going to take it big, bring the opacity down, and brighten that up there like that. So put need money. Okay. And now you can go for another set of text, and this is going to be the end of it. I can put like click here or something down here at the bottom. Okay. Let me bring this up. Let's go click here, and then let's put exclamation point at the end of that. Let's change the color. Let's go with the dark or bright red. Looks like it might work here. And then put OK. And then I'm going to take the size down. You guys should be getting the hang of this by now. And then put OK. And then now on this layer, I'm going to click the effects here and put drop shadow maybe. Let's try that. Drop shadow and control the distance. So I can move the distance in and out here. I can move the distance closer, so it's a little bit more 3D eye-catching. You can also just change the numbers here if you have a hard time with the mouse. And then we can also do a bevel on it. No, that doesn't look good. Shadow, that doesn't look good. Outer glow on that with the drop shadow. And we can change that to a yellowish color there, or no, that doesn't really show up. Oh, let's change that color. I don't know how it got there. Somehow. There we go. Need money? Click here. Okay, so there is your ad banner. It's as simple as that. You have all your layers. They're nice and neat. So if you ever need to go back and change this and add text or anything, it's all nice and neat. Now we're going to go to File, Save, and what I would do is I would save it as a layered pixel image first, because that's the image that's going to keep all of these layers here. So you would save that, and then once you have that image there, so let's put OK, and then I'll save it to my desktop, and I'll save that. So you have that file put away in a vault in case you ever need to make changes. Now I'm going to come back and go to File. I'm going to go to Save again, but this time I'm going to save it as a JPEG. And the quality 80% is fine. So click OK. Banner test to desktop. Click Save, and it's saved that. Okay. Now I can go over to my desktop here, and let's find it. Here it is. Click on it, and there's my banner ad. Okay, now your banner ad is the proper size, it's a JPEG format, and it's ready to be uploaded to AdWords or whatever website you want to. Okay, simple as that, guys. See you in further tutorials in this package. Alright, hope you enjoyed this. Remember, you do get the template that shows you all the sizes and all that, so you don't have to research and waste time for any of that stuff. It's all there. You just enter in the size, enter in your images, the color effects, all that, and you're ready to roll. Alright guys, take care. Bye.